Hey, look, there's a new sticker up there.
Hey, welcome back everybody to the Arcade Shop. I'm Dean. It seems like we just can't get a break from the weatherman here. We got cold, rainy conditions again. Supposed to get a pretty big storm tomorrow. So anyways, in this week's episode, we're not going to have any machining or any metal work, but we do have our new stickers for the channel. So we'll take a look at those over at the bench in a minute. And then after we do that, I've got some footage I filmed a couple weeks ago about the Ford Bronco. It was a nice little walk around and some information and shots of different things. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's head on over to the bench and check out the stickers. And thanks again everybody for stopping by.
So we've got a couple extra stickers. One from Doug here, Metalworks Machine Shop, and the other one from Tom at Hilltop Machine Works. We haven't found an extra spot for those. Might end up sending it out to somebody else, just don't know yet. All right, so here we go. Here's our sticker, and I am not an artist by any means, so this is what I came up with, and hopefully it doesn't look too corny. But there we go. We got the South Bend lathe on there and the Bridgeport mill, some gears in the background, and some text. So hopefully it looks okay to everybody. So once again, if you need a sticker, please shoot me an email, name and address, and we'll get them out to you. I've already got Doug and Tom. I got theirs on their way already, and I've had a couple other viewers from the last episode send me their name and addresses, so those are going out. So yeah, there you go. So excited to have these finally. It took a little thinking on how to make them and where to get them made, but we're finally there. All right, so let's go take a look at the Bronco, and that's going to be it for this week. And thanks again, everybody. Hey guys. Yeah, I got a few minutes to kill here. My 3-year-old grandson's sleeping in the house, so I can't make any loud noises. So a few weeks ago, actually probably longer than that, I did a video on the shop truck. Well, this is the other truck. This is the hunting vehicle. So it's a 1978 Bronco, and I know I've mentioned it a few times. So let's just take a quick look. So 1978 was the first year that they made these in full size, and I got this one. It didn't look like this when I got it. I did a I don't know if you'd call it a complete restore or not, but I basically took it all the way apart. The only thing I didn't do, I didn't pull the front fenders off, and I didn't pull it off the frame. But other than that, every nut, bolt, screw, you name it, was removed, repaired, cleaned, rebuilt, and put back together. I did not pull the radiator support or the grill shell, but entire powertrain was out. Axles, pulled the axles out, completely stripped them down to bare housings. Engine completely rebuilt. We'll look at that in a little bit. Transmission was thoroughly gone through. The transfer case was the only thing that I really didn't do anything to, other than put new seals in it. Put in a new gas tank, new springs. It's got a 2-inch Skyjacker lift kit, and back up a little bit here. This is my hunting vehicle, and it gets used. I don't baby it. It gets run through the brush and through some nasty country. I did repaint it. It's urethane paint. It's Valspar. I think it's they called it the Series 2000, I think, and it's incredibly durable paint. Really happy with it. My trim is peeling off here, the paint on it, and it's a little messy on the inside. Got all my junk in here. Let's take a look inside. So inside, I did not paint the dashboard, but everything was out. I did you know, instrument cluster. I left the wiring harness in place and just repaired what needed to be repaired on it. We got the rifle rack, center console. The seats I did not have to reupholster. I just and they need it now, so I've got to do that. I mean, it was 20 years ago when I did the restore. New carpeting, all new weather stripping and so forth. All right. So the rear window, like most of you know, is electric. I had to do a fair amount of repairs. Had to rebuild the motor, put in all new guides, felts and so forth. But she works pretty good. I used to be a big-time duck hunter, but I'm getting too old for that. I let the young guys do that now. Spare tire carrier. I made my own little stainless steel stop block there. And I had to do some repairs. I had to put a sleeve in for the pivot point here. It was all worn out. I've put some extra bumper protection on here. You know, if your buddies are with you and they don't open the tire carrier far enough or work the tailgate wrong, it'll hit. So I put a little extra protection there. I did have to replace the tailgate, and the spare tire carrier was missing when I got it. I got very lucky and was able to find one. I put Smitty built bumpers front and back, added a roll pan, because originally these had a like a car bumper on the back, and it had a filler piece, so you would have a gap when you took the bumper off. The suspension, the axles and everything are original, other than the springs and the shocks. I was really lucky on the chrome trim. Everything was there. All I had to do was clean it up a little bit. And these are the rims that came on it. All right. Let's open up the hood. So it was 20 years ago when I did this restore. It doesn't get used a lot. I only use it occasionally on weekends and of course during hunting season. It's not a daily driver, but like I was saying, it does not get babied. I did the 1-ton brake upgrade. So it's got the 1-ton master cylinder, vacuum booster, and the rear brakes are drum brakes, the original, but with 1-ton wheel cylinders. And the front disc brakes, if you're familiar with Broncos, the common upgrade is to use the Thunderbird conversion, the brake shoes. So it's got the Thunderbird brakes, and what a difference. These were not known for being able to stop. and now it stops really good. Okay, so on the Smitty built bumper, you can see these funny little tabs here. So I've got a tow bar set up, and we tow this behind a big motorhome when we go on our hunting trips, or at least our out-of-state hunting trips. The engine is it's a 351M, and I mentioned before I completely rebuilt it. Unfortunately, here in California, we have to, even though this is 40 years old, we have to maintain the original smog equipment and have it tested every 2 years. It was a challenge finding some of the replacement parts, but everything is there. It's just a 2-barrel carburetor. I did modify the motor internally, so it's got an improved camshaft, higher compression, balanced, and so forth. So it has a little more power, but unfortunately with the crappy smog stuff, it's still pretty underpowered. Air conditioning. Bring it over here. So we do have onboard compressed air, and we've got an air fitting here. So we've got, we ran tubing, copper tubing actually, and it's buried inside the frame rails, goes all the way to the back, and we've got about a 3-gallon storage tank in the back. And one of the reasons for the compressed air, we've got a little solenoid valve right here. We've got an ARB air locker on the front. So front axle is an ARB air locker. It's a Dana 44. And then since you got air, you might as well just go ahead and pick up a Caterpillar air horn and mount that up at the same time. So that's come in handy a few times. And this one has factory dual shocks in the front. Taking a look underneath, not sure if you can see, we added an extra skid plate. And my neighbor, who's no longer with us, used to have a muffler shop, so he did the exhaust for me. It's a 3-inch single all the way back. So when we do our towing, I've got hidden up underneath here is our wiring for the towing, and it's on its somewhat of a separate circuit all the way to the back. And I've got a diode network set up so that it doesn't, when you plug in, you know, basically the trailer lights, it doesn't affect the electrical system on the truck. You just plug it in, you're ready to go. And we also have, let's see if we can see it here. See that brake line? I got it tied back right now, but it's a brake line, and I've got a shut-off valve, so we can tap into the brake system, just the front wheels, and the tow bar that I have has a surge brake. And I've got isolation valves so I can isolate the front wheels so that we have some braking when we're towing. We've got the, these are the KC headlights. I think they're the H6s. And with those, it comes with a, well, you got to buy a separate relay pack so that we can get direct power off the battery. Yeah, because they do draw some extra power. Oh yeah, so I was going to put a winch on here. And every year I keep saying, yeah, I'm going to get that winch installed. I'm going to get the winch on there. Well, we used to hunt late in the season when there was a lot of snow. Now it's an early season hunt that we do, so rarely do we ever get stuck anymore. And I've only had this guy stuck one time, and it was just a little bit of shovel work. We were able to pull right out. So just never got around to doing the winch. And I'm not a big fan of additional off-road lights. I mean, I wouldn't mind a couple, but I was saving the spot for the winch that I just mentioned, so I never added any extra lights. But you get good quality headlights, and you know, that does a pretty good job. So there you go. So once again, it's 1978 Bronco. It's just the base model. It's a custom. Or the next model up would have been the Ranger XLT. Oh, we do have a traction lock rear differential. That's a limited slip. And let's see, we've got air conditioning. I think I mentioned that. Oh, this is rare. We've got sliding side windows. Let's see if I can get out of the glare here. That's kind of a rarity. You don't see too many with sliding side windows. And if you're wondering about the top, I have had it off. I took it off when I painted it. And that was the last time. That top weighs about 400 pounds. It's not easy to get on and off. Yeah, so, and I did do the paint. I have painted a few cars. So I took this one on and did it myself. So I've got the back seat folded up right now. So you get about maybe 5 feet of cargo space when the seat's folded forward. And the seat functions quite nicely. See, what else did I do? Oh, I upgraded the overhead light. That's out of, I think it's out of a Thunderbird. So it's got map lights. And that's pretty much it. You know, it is it's a C6 automatic. And of course with the NP205 transfer case, which is a beast. Alrighty, well, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I redid this truck 20 years ago, and it's been an awesome vehicle. Really enjoy it. Just a quick note on tires. These are 10, 50, 15, 31s. And when you're in the snow or in some sloppy mud, those big balloon tires are not going to do you any good at all. It's better to have a narrower tire that can dig in and get through that muck and through the snow and get down to some good hard material to give you traction. So, you know, some guys might disagree, but I've been in some nasty stuff, and with guys with other vehicles that had the big wide tires, and just watched them slide all over the place. And in fact, we had another vehicle with street tires on it that we had to drive around the guy with the big fat tires that slid off the road so that we could pull him out, and we had street tires on. So you get these big wide tires in the snow, and what you got are a set of toboggans. Okay, enough of a rant on that. Oh, and these are just BF Goodrich. They're the KO2 all-terrain TAs. I had the mud terrain, and I wasn't that happy with them. They didn't have that much of an improvement in traction. In fact, maybe even a little less in the snow. And the noise level was, you know, really bad. Where these are nice and quiet, and I'm very happy with them. Okay, I know somebody out there wants to hear it run. So I've only put roughly 25,000 miles on it since the complete rebuild of the powertrain. So it still runs great. If you're wondering about gas mileage, 9 miles per gallon, guys. And it doesn't matter whether you're towing or just driving or what, it's the same. So if I had to do it over again, what would I do different? If it wasn't such a major hassle to get around the California smog laws, and you can do engine changes, but it's quite a process. But I think I would put in the 351 Windsor, fully fuel injected with the overdrive transmission. I don't know if I would use the 205 transfer case or just use the newer transfer case. One of the downsides of the 205 is all the gears are turning all the time, so there's a lot of parasitic drag that cuts into your fuel mileage. The other option would be to put a 460, and if I were towing, doing a lot of towing, I would put in a 460. They fit right in, and they really don't get, from what I've found out talking to other people, they really don't get any worse gas mileage, so you might as well have the extra power. I thought about putting an overdrive transmission in instead of the C6. It can be done. It's not easy. It requires some adapters, and the one that fits is the ADO. You have to take it to someone who knows what they're doing and have them do all the upgrades and improvements, because the AODs are very weak. They can't handle very much power, but they will work correctly if you do them right. So anyways, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for stopping by.
Guys, got a little trivia note for you here. So, what is R in the name the Arcade Shop? What the heck is that? So, I didn't put any explanation originally in the notes for the channel when I first set it up, because I was hoping people would ask, and surprisingly only a couple of people have. So, anyways, here you go. So, if you've ever Googled your name and researched your family tree history, I did that, and our clan, the Crawford clan, it traced back to southwest Scotland and back to a historic country that was actually inside of Scotland, and the name of the country was Ayrshire. And the principal town in the country was Ayr, which still exists today. And the county or province, whatever they designate them at, is still Ayrshire. So, and then the most common and farthest back person they can trace the name to was Sir Reginald Crawford, and he was the sheriff of Ayr back in 1296. And his sister married Wallace of Elderslie. Elderslie? I probably need John Mills to help me with that pronunciation. But anyways, so she was the mother of William Wallace, which was really cool. So anyways, you know, I used it for the channel name, and I used it on some of my other naming things like the email and so forth. So anyways, thought you guys might be interested and enjoy that. So once again, thanks everybody for stopping by the channel, and hope to see you soon.